All right, everyone, so the wait is over. We're back on the Camaro. I'm gonna get these brakes done. I actually ordered up some goodies for the rear end. I got some 373 gears and a spool for it. I figured that was a little better than welding it. And the 308 gears, yeah, it's great on the freeway, but I want to melt tires. So 373s, they fit this carrier, and they'll be fun enough. So let's get these brakes done. Well, this is where we left off. I got the drums off and the axles out and everything, and it doesn't look too bad in here, but I got a whole new spring kit. There's a brand new drum there, pretty fancy little fins on that one. Hopefully it's the same. That one don't have fins. This is all supposed to be factory Camaro stuff, so we'll find out. Yeah, there's spring kits, new pads, and everything. So again, I'm just doing drums on this thing because they're cheap. Oh, I about fell over. They're cheap, and this rear end, I don't have much faith in it, but I did find out I can get chromoly axle shafts for it and stuff. So like I said, I ordered 373 gears and a spool, and putting some chromolys in this thing might actually make it survive for a little bit longer, but we'll see. But I think I'll be into this maybe $500, and if it holds up to a year's worth of burnouts and I got to throw a shaft in it every once in a while, yeah, that's good enough. So like I say, this whole thing is kind of budget build. Eventually it's going to be, you know, a pretty built car, but for right now the whole point is get it out, have some fun, beat on it this season, and then probably next winter go back and fix everything that I cobbled together. So yeah, let's tear this side apart and get some new goodies in this thing. So while I'm doing brakes, I've got Julianne is gonna, there's Julianne hiding. Ta-da! It's kind of cold in the shop. We just got the fire going. But yeah, I'm gonna have her kind of clean out all the crap in here. And I want to check out these floors. Obviously there's some rust in the floors, but I figured I'd like to get the pans done and everything. Get that so I don't have to come back and do those. The roof and quarters, I may do them this winter, or sometime during the summer. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how that goes. But for now, I just don't want water coming up the floor and all that. Yeah, I might have it raining down on us from the top, but yeah, we'll see. I just want to get all this done and bed lined. So she's going to get this cleaned out while I'm doing brakes. All right, first thing on my list to do, I figured while I get these parts put together, I'm going to go ahead and get these drums painted up because they're going to get all rusty. They're all just raw steel right now. So the last thing this car needs is more rust. So the first coat of primer is ran and drooled all over this stuff. So these are going to dry for a minute. I'll start pulling some springs off the brakes, and then we'll put a coat of paint on these things. Alright, so before I tear into this thing, I just like to go through all the bags, make sure, because everything was jumbled into 3 or 4 different bags, and I just kind of split everything up, make sure I got everything, and of course, yeah, I'm missing, I don't know, that's one of the adjusters, that's another little adjuster hoopty, but I only got apparently one side of those. I think I got pretty much all the springs and everything for both sides, but I always like to kind of inventory this stuff, because it seems like you always get shorted on 1 or 2 items. You end up having to use some of your old crap, which, you know, this is the other adjuster that I'll need. This one, I believe, is the driver's side. So I'll probably end up reusing that, which is no big deal. It's not a wear part or anything, but it's just one of those things like, you know, seems like some of these companies just sweep the floor, throw some crap in a bag, and send it your way. So I'll make do. We'll get these done still. No worries. Alright, so I got all this gutted out. There's all the other old pieces, and they're actually in pretty good shape. I think the brakes were done fairly recently when somebody was driving this thing, but yeah, the pads they're actually in pretty good shape. I probably could have just put a new slave cylinder in there and been good, but I figured I bought this stuff, I'll use it. There's all the colorful parts that are going to go back in. So I'm going to get that cleaned up and start reassembling it. And then I got to coat a nice black paint on these. I'll get another one squirted on that. But we're making things happen. All right, Julianne just hammered out getting this inside cleaned out. She vacuumed it up and everything, getting it to where we can see what we got to work with in here. So we'll get all this rust repaired. I'm gonna wire wheel and clean up all the inside here. I'd like to get this bed lined and sealed up nice. So we're gonna get on that. That'll be a different phase, but it's at least ready to go for now. So good stuff. I got the backing plate all wire wheeled. I should get a new seal for this and possibly wheel bearing. I don't know. I may not do the bearing yet because I'm probably going to blow these shafts up. And when I do, I'll change everything. But I might go ahead and just order a seal and bearing. I didn't even think about axle seals, but these ones didn't seem to be leaking. But it's like I'm here and I may as well do it. And I'm going to have, I think my gears and spool will be here, I think like next Wednesday. So I may as well, while I'm waiting, go ahead and get that because I'm not going to be able to put the whole rear end back together anyway. So, but yeah, I just cleaned this up. I use my little grinder with a wire wheel that flings wires all over the place. And, but yeah, it got it cleaned up good enough. I can spray a little paint on it. I don't want to make it too nice and make my insurance rate go up. So, we'll hose her down and start putting it together. All right, so this backing plate's all painted and everything, nice and clean. I did go ahead and order new axle seals and bearings. So those are going to be here in about 2 days. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do it while I'm in here. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get these new pads in, all this hardware in, and put this side together. So we're making progress. I got to put this adjuster in, and I always put a little grease in here, and then Anna sees this because this is like how your brakes tighten and everything. So I know if you've ever done much of these drum brakes, like this usually seizes up, and you know your brakes just don't work effectively. So this will help at least take it a few years before it seizes up, especially with the crap they spray on our roads. Just a little dab on there, thread her back together. Put on that. Something like that. And then onto that, I think. All right. Alrighty, we got brakes put together, and I still have all my fingers. So, but in these kits, I don't know. I mean, these things, like I say, they sweep the floor. This is a spring that's supposed to go here or there. They gave me, it's two completely different springs. This one, when you compress it down, there is absolutely no way you'll get a keeper on it or anything. So I ended up using the old springs. They seem springy, and like all they're doing is holding the pads on there. So, but other than that, I was able to use everything else. All the new stuff. So this side is together and done. So all I got to do is jump over to the other side now. This is not the proper way. There we go. So usually kind of lay them out. Everything came off. forget to put that on as I do this.
Crazy how fast demo is compared to assembly.
Yeah. I don't think I'll need that, I think. We jumped right over to the driver's side and got it all blown apart. There's all the old junk there. I'll get this side cleaned up and we'll get her painted. Okay, the backing plate's all pretty well cleaned up. I'm looking on here, and this is where the pads are at, and there's some little boogers and little burrs and everything on there. And just so that everything moves and does what it's supposed to, I'm going to take a little 36 grit flap wheel and just kind of dust the little high spots off of those so that the pads can move freely and don't have any issues. It is drum brakes after all. We need all the help we can get. Alright, I just dusted them off just to get the little lines and little boogers that were on them off of there. So that should just hopefully help these things out a little bit. I'm looking at these old shoes. I mean, for being old shoes, they're pretty much brand new. The springs and everything, they're still colored, and you know, I think this probably before it got parked or whatever had a fairly recent brake job on it, and it's tempting to run these, but if they've sat for 20-30 years, it's like, I don't know, you know, they could delaminate off the pads here, whatever. So I mean, it's tempting, but for, I don't know what this brake kit was. It was, I don't know, for drums and everything, I think $120 or something. But for your safety and the safety of others and everything, it's like, just throw in some new stuff and then you know. So I was just comparing these old shoes, and I mean, like I say, there's more meat on these pads. This is probably a 1/4 inch or 5/16 compared to this. And then the actual pads that you look, this pad is coming all the way to the end of the shoe. This one is ending way, you know, about 3/4 to an inch away. And same thing with the front. This is extending all the way up to where this one is. So this is your new modern, you know, supposed to be an upgrade brake shoe. And maybe the compound's a little better, but surface area is also a big deal. So I don't know, that just kind of goes to show you that they used to do things a lot better back in the day. Let's see. Oh.
Don't forget the e-brake this time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it was fighting you.
See that? Now it just goes right together when everything in the universe is happy. Does it not fit in that pad? Yep. Okay. Is that it?
That went too fast and too smoothly.
I think it is it, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. That's 9 springs. It's all the pieces.
Sweet. And then the only other item I have is the rubber line. But I'll do that when I'm underneath. Now we can just clean up all our shit.
You're a pro.
Huh?
You're a pro.
Yeah. I'm glad to get that done. What? Are you recording me?
I am.
There you have it. We're all done with that. So, like I say, I'll have some new seals and bearings probably Tuesday. But the brakes are done. I've got the main hose that's up under here down to the differential, the brake line. I've got a new one of those. I'm going to put that in, but I'm not going to climb under there and do that till I'm messing around with these gears and seals and everything. So for now, this part is done. And yeah, we'll probably start moving on to the inside and get this rust and crust repaired. And yeah, get the floor all done up in this. So that'll be the next phase. All right, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. So these drums, and I mean, let me know if you caught this in the comments. But on these drums, when I pulled these parts out of the box, here, let me show you. I was looking at the old drums that were on here, and when I took them out of the box, I just compared what was on this side, and they were all these long ones. And so it wasn't until I was cleaning up on the other side that I noticed that these pads on the passenger side were both long, like, and then the ones that I had on the driver's side were the shorter ones. And so somewhere along the line, somebody had put, because there should be a long one to the front and a short one to the back. And it's been a long time since I've done drums, and I know that. It didn't even hit me. So I ended up just doing what this side had, and I put long ones on this. And the two longs were wrapped in one little bag, and the two shorts were in the other bag. And I was thinking each bag was a right and a left. So I ended up doing exactly what somebody else did. I put two longs on this side, and I've got both shorts on the other side. And when I was cleaning up, I realized what I'd done. So it's about 10:30, but I think while this is all fresh in my head, all I got to do is pull this long one off and flip it around and put it on the front on the other side, on the driver's side, and then bring the short one from the driver's side and put it on here. So basically I got to redo everything I just did. So yeah, lesson learned, and I guess it just means pay a little more attention sometimes. But I'm going to hammer this out again. So this driver's side should be a bit easier. All I got to do, I got one spring here, that little guy, this stuff down here, and this pad can come off and transfer over to the front or the rear of the passenger side. So this side's going to be easy. When I get to the passenger side, I got all this other garbage over here that I got to take off and swap this short pad to the back on that side. So yeah, that's I hate doing these brakes. I mean, discs are super easy. I'd have been done in about 20 minutes tonight, but this has been about a 2-hour project and probably going to be 2 more hours. So here we go. All right, that was quick. I got this shoe off. It's the short one. It's going to go on the passenger side to the rear. So let's get this slapped on there. So here I am on the passenger side, and here is how that pad's going to be. So it is the shorter one. But yeah, basically this entire side's going to get redone because everything kind of overlaps and everything. So this one will take a few minutes, but we'll get her done. Closing statement. Okay.
That was super fast.
That is done. Alrighty, well, that side is done. Now we have the long pad to the front, short one to the rear. Springs are done. We will go slap this little short guy on the front on the driver's side, and then we're finally done with this project. And we are done. So driver's side now has the long pad to the front, short to the rear, and this is correct. So whoever did this the first time or last time made this same mistake. I was just kind of following along with what I just took 2 pads out. They were the same length. I was like, yep, this is it. But yeah, lesson learned. Actually, this went really fast putting it back together. That's why I wanted to do it tonight, because it's fresh in my head. So, but yeah, mistakes were made, lessons were learned. Alrighty, well, we got that mistake fixed. Like I say, that's one of those things. Pay attention to everything. I should have bounced around both sides and everything, but I just pulled parts out of the box and threw them on. But we corrected it. So, again, what we're doing here, I mean, it's back to the grassroots and getting these projects done. I actually had to say goodbye to a friend after 30 years of friendship this week. And, and it's like, you never know. I'm 50 and he was 48. I've already had a heart attack and a double bypass, so the clock's ticking for all of us. And, we can have our dream cars and we can have our visions, but with what we're doing here, you can get out and use it and have fun. That's what this whole entire channel that I'm doing. I hope to get people to get out and just realize you can wait an eternity and never have something, or you can get out and run these crusty rusties and fix them as you go. And again, that's the point with what I'm doing here. It's like I can build this however, but it's like I'm doing this from grassroots up. It's drum brakes all the way around. It's all simple. Yeah, there's no LS in this. There's no nothing. So, but it's gonna have it eventually. And I want this channel to record this car and document it as it goes from, a regular old jalopy to something that's going to be pretty cool in, probably a few years or whatever. So, but yeah, I appreciate all your guys' comments, all the support and everything. I mean, this has been super cool. I hope that you guys can learn something from me, learn through my mistakes, and this is something, if you haven't done brakes, drum brakes in a while, I totally forgot about big ones on the front, little ones on the back, but as soon as I saw it, I remembered it and it was like, oh crap. So, but yeah, anyway, thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, the comments, everything. This has been just super awesome. So stay tuned. We're going to move forward on this car and others. And, we're going to keep the content coming. So thanks again. And until next time.